Yo, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back here again for another review for The Flash. This is episode 11, The Elongated Night Rises, which is the stupidest title. But the episode was actually pretty good. Like, it's weird because out of every other episode, my man, I forget his real name, but the elongated man, like, I just could not stand him. Like, I kept on, like, looking at him like, you would be a great Joker, but you just annoy the crap out of me. But this is what's happened tonally as far as the show is concerned. Ever since, I think it was like, Therefore I Am, the reveal of who the Thinker actually is or was, the tone of this show and the progression of the storyline and the characterization, like elevation, it's been just amazing. Like every single step, every single episode has just made this season better. Whereas before, in the beginning episode, I would have been like, I was ready to throw in the towel, honestly, you guys. Like legit, I was like, I cannot. And seeing Barry Allen, you know, subjugated to not only not being able to help people. It'd be one thing if, like, you know, the Thinker removed his ability to speed. That's one thing. But he still has speed, needs to keep his integrity, and is stuck, literally in prison. In the same exact cell that his dad was in. And it's like, from an emotional standpoint and from a hero standpoint, I was like, this is a new way of making our hero grow through trial and suffering without just killing a family member, without, you know, just like having somebody's life in jeopardy, but really adding a real consequence to something happening. The best way I can kind of put it, even with Elongated Man in this episode, like he legit got hurt. Like he got burned and like with acid, and everybody was like, I don't know if you're gonna heal from this kind of thing. And like I love consequences. I love when it's like things that happen. Yeah, you could have like the newest villain of the week, or they could be a great villain, they could have great powers. But if you don't do anything with elevation of the characters, it doesn't mean anything. Now this episode, I'll say that Caitlin and my man Cisco, they took a back seat to Elongated Man. But in this episode, it was more so the Trickster versus Elongated Man. Trickster was mom versus Elongated Man. So it made sense. Now, in the beginning episode, I was like, you know, first of all, why didn't all three of you guys go out and take this guy out? Why would you take, you know, put Elongated Man out there by himself? I was like, that didn't make sense. And then later on, of course, they had to do what they had to do. But it was a good episode. It was actually really good what they were able to do with Elongated Man and the Barry side of things. Because the Barry side of things, I was like, he's sitting there constantly looking at the clocks, looking at the cameras to see when and how much time he can do whatever. And it was like, it was crazy because he made a comment. He was like, I was very surprised at the fact that life in here is not so different than life out there. And basically, they had my man Bill Goldberg up in the joint. That his dad like ended up helping save his life. And so in turn, he wanted to help Barry. And it's interesting that they're friends on the inside. I hope Bill Goldberg makes another appearance because people are going to still keep going after Barry. I can promise you that. Like, people don't stop. Like, unless something is drastically done, they're not going to stop. So, either way, it's just interesting for him to have a friend as big as Bill Goldberg. And it was just really interesting to watch, you know, Barry have to kind of hide himself, put himself in harm's way, so to speak, but at the same time, like, you know, stick to his morals of what he's trying to do, keeping in his integrity at the expense of his own marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he spent the second week of his marriage in this. So it's just crazy to me because that last part of the episode with Iris and him, and I'm sitting there watching this man's arm shake, and I was like, yo, this catch me with the feels. But then, okay, so after everything was said and done, at the end of the episode, right, old girl comes back. The girl that was from the wedding that I already thought was Iris and Barry's, you know, daughter. It just, to me, the conversation and the way eclectic and how sporadic and how she talks like Barry, but she articulates herself like Iris. And I was like, this actress is doing a great job of combining these two characters and showing what the dialogue would be with both of them together. And I thought that was dope. If she ends up being something else, then that's fine. But the fact that she's sitting there using the language, Yeah, I'm almost sure that is definitely Iris and Barry's daughter. But it was a good episode. I give it a 9 out of 10. That was probably one of the better episodes. And I mean, for them to make me like get behind like when Elongated Man got his name, I was like, yeah, that's right. Elongated, man. I gotta go. Keep it alive. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. You have a blessed one. And make sure you go and check out the Black Lightning reaction and review. Did that yesterday. And definitely subscribe and like. Peace, guys. Oh, snap.